Morning, guys. So I'm in Chester. Had a okay night's sleep. You know, once I've slept in my tent a few nights, my body kind of just gets used to it, and then it feels odd sleeping in a normal bed. Like when I go home, I find it more pleasing to sleep in the tent than I do in a bed, which is so weird. Do you know what I mean? So I'm in Chester now, and again, I'm just so torn at what to do because I really want to carry on my adventure. I really want to carry on just travelling, going exploring, going walking, but it's just the weather and lugging all my stuff around. It's getting hard, it's getting really hard. So it's like I'm really torn at what to do. I don't want the weather to affect what I do. At the minute it's dry. At the minute it's reasonably dry, but obviously it's hard to say with this bloody weather. I don't think we had that storm, unless it just passed right over us and whatever. But like I said in the last upload, I don't think it was as bad as they make out. It never is. But so yeah, I don't know what to do now. I literally do not know what to do, but I think when I check out, I am going to have a wander around a little bit and explore Chester a little bit. I think Chester's not that different from Shrewsbury. I think they're very similar, with the style of buildings and whatnot. So, yeah, I'm going to have a walk around and then maybe decide what to do later on today. So, yeah, I thought I'd tell you a little bit more about that exciting train journey yesterday. I mean, it was just mental. It was literally just absolutely mental. The fact that, it worked out the way it did, and I believe, things are meant to happen for a reason. Why was I meant to be stuck on that train like that when I just got on it? I could have kept walking, but I chose to get a train because I was exhausted, and then it kind of almost felt like that was my punishment, for getting on a train rather than just keep going and keep walking. I know that sounds silly, but it is what it is. It worked out the way it was. Like I said, that's why I weren't stressing. That's why I weren't, and this is again why I don't make plans, because when, like everybody else on that train had to be somewhere, I'd to be going somewhere else and had things to go to, so that everyone were all up in rage and panicking. Whereas me, I were in no rush, I had nowhere to go. So for me, this is again why I don't plan things and just take things as they come. Because when you take things as they come, they work out okay in the end. They always work out, you know what I mean? It's just a hiccup in the road. And like I said, that, it was what it was. It was meant to happen for a reason. Whatever that reason is, at the time, you just don't know. But yeah, so like I say, I got chatting, and in particular, one of the people on there, who, if you watch the last shot, a young lad with glasses on, he only, like I said, 21, he'd come over from Ireland, he was Irish, and he'd travelled over from Dublin for his nan's funeral. He was on his way back. He was on his way back to catch the ferry. He had a big suitcase with him. He was taking all his nan's possessions, who recently died, God bless us all. And he was taking all that, his nan's possession back home on his own. So he made this journey from Dublin to Cardiff and travelling to go and get the ferry, and all this happened. So, you just put yourself in that guy's shoes, and he's a young lad doing all this by himself, taking on this big responsibility of, looking after his nan's possession, like his nan's entire life was in a suitcase, and he's taking it all back home on the ferry, and obviously gets caught up in this mess, and is ringing the company and had to get put on a later ferry, and you know what I mean? So I'm one of the lucky ones, not having anything planned, not having anywhere to go. So, that's why, there was no need for me to stress out or get irate about it. But for this young lad, he's trying to stay calm, and I'm chatting to him and saying, look, you might not know it now, but obviously you've done a brilliant thing doing this for your nan, taking on a lot on your shoulders, going through this by yourself. what a pleasure to speak to. And he was talking about him and his partner, and how he's planning on moving to England, and just what a pleasure it was to meet him and get chatting to him. And maybe you might come across this one day. So if you do and you see this, big up to yourself. I hope you're doing all right, because he works in social media, IT of some sort. I'm not sure exactly what, but he's involved in social media in some way. So that was ironic how he was telling me about that. Even these different people's stories, like I said, that elderly woman in a wheelchair, sat in a wheelchair for 4 hours, because she couldn't get on the transfer coach because there were no disability access. I was one of the lucky ones. At any point I could have said, literally, screw this, I'm going to carry on walking. And I literally probably could have made it to Chester and beat the train to Chester. You know what I mean? It probably would have taken me another good few hours or so. But if I weren't that exhausted, and as you saw from the upload, that weighed down with stuff and mud and wet and cold, I would have kept walking. So I had no issue with just staying on the train. Literally no issue, even if we'd been stuck there for another few hours. I had absolutely no issue with that. So it was just, keeping everyone else calm, talking to everyone else and trying to stay upbeat. And you can't change the unedible. You can't change you can't control outer things. You just have to take it on the chin and stay calm, because getting all worked up and angry and stressed about it, which years ago I would have done, I would have been flipping out, do you know what I mean? So it's just a message, and I should stay calm. Just stay calm, because getting angry and frustrated over things that you can't control, like the weather and whatnot, doesn't change anything. But getting angry, and the train drivers on there and the conductor who were controlling it all, again, not their fault, but remained absolutely calm and professional through the entire thing. Really, really did actually, were trying to be as accommodating to the people as they could. But it obviously at some point there was a mess up, like sending one coach for 200 people. It wasn't going to cut it, you know what I mean? They should know that there were more people on the train, that they would need more coaches, that they would need a disability access, knowing that there was somebody on the train in a wheelchair. So that, was a muck up on someone's behalf. And like I said, the fact that they didn't know throughout the whole time when the journey were going to start up again, and the fact that we were still expecting to leave either on a coach whenever if the last coach would come, which I don't think they would have done, or a taxi, and waiting in that time when, they said that the train wouldn't be moving again because the line was too severely damaged, and then all of a sudden miraculously they managed to start it up again. So, this is what makes me wonder, like I said, not a tree falling, you'd think it's just as easy as a team of people coming and picking it up and shifting it out of the way. But so whatever that tree damage did was enough to keep us halted for hours on end. But yeah, this is why I'm like, don't rely on public transport. You don't get stuck in traffic walking, you don't get late to anything walking, you see scenery, you see things, you get fresh air, you get exercise. So walking is, when it's not through muddy fields and not bad weather, walking is probably the best option. So yeah, message of the day, just in stressful moments, just try and remain calm. I know I've rambled on a bit, and none of you probably listened to this, and you're probably going to tune out, but yeah, I just had to talk about my experience that, I've been stuck on a train, sat on a train for 4.5 hours, was a hell of an experience. But it went quick as well, because I weren't overthinking about it and getting wound up and getting frustrated. It actually went really fast. It was warm. Once people got off the train, there was plenty of room to sit down and relax. Obviously, I'd be able to put my stuff on charge, Wi-Fi on the train. So, I couldn't really complain. I didn't really have a problem. But obviously, everyone else that was, heading somewhere else, you can understand why it probably could be such a stressful, on a Sunday, coming on to late afternoon to late evening. must have been such a stressful situation. So I hope everyone got home in the end and had a safe journey. But yeah, mad experience, a mad day. So I've just checked out the hotel, and like I say, I don't really know what to do now. I do want to enjoy having a walk around Chester, to explore Chester, go and have a look around. But the problem is that I've got, even though it's dry, like again, it's genuinely sunny and it's dry weather and whatnot, I've got to look my stuff around, which makes it hard because every time I want to film something, I've got to put my stuff down, get my phone out, film, and then pick it all back up and carry on again. So it makes it really hard walking around while I'm dragging all this stuff around with me, do you know what I mean, which is weighing me down. So if I didn't have all this stuff, it would make it pretty easy. So let me show you where I am right now. So yeah, I'm in the centre of Chester and there's all this construction going on. Literally all this construction going on. I don't know what they're doing, roadworks by the looks of it, improving the roadworks, but yeah, opposite this big church. Traffic's still flowing, but yeah, as you can see, very dry day, no rain. So yeah, I'm just gonna, once again guys, play it by ear, have a walk around and see how I feel in a bit and see where to go from here, whether I continue walking or risk, do I dare say it, risk getting another train out of here and calling this adventure to an end. So yeah, this is what I mean about both Shrewsbury and Chester. Very similar looking buildings with these everywhere, these types of buildings. I mean look, this is for these kinds, modern day brick, and then right every so often in between these kind of buildings here, you know, which I like them. I like them. They bring character again. They bring a lot of character. But then, you know, when they're renovated and placed next to, you know, more up-to-date buildings, they just look out of place. But yeah, Shrewsbury and Chester, very similar in places. So I have been to Chester once or twice before. I remember the last time I came with Rebecca, and this wall here that you see people walking over, this wall goes around the entire city, I do believe, if I'm not mistaken. It actually, you know, is the old ancient wall, castle wall, and it goes the whole way around, so you can actually walk the whole length of it. I don't know if I'm going to do that today or not, like I say. I haven't entirely made my mind up what I'm doing at all, but yeah, once again, another rough looking river. Very rough, and probably a lot higher in level due to all the rain we've been having. So let's cross over here and I'll show you the other side. Leave my bags there, couldn't really give two stuffs, don't think anyone's going to run off with them. So like I say, here we have the castle walls that go the whole way around. This is the start of one here, where you can join this and then walk the entire length. And obviously there's the castle up there, the castle walls that surround it. And it's just so cool that this is such a part of history, where years ago you can imagine the battles that would have gone on here, and the, you know, the fights and all the commotion from the castle, you know, and now it's just modern day, everyday people going about their business. Yeah, but the feet that must have walked these grounds, and the history and whatnot. Crazy to think about. Here we have another huge race course. It's not being used for racing, but more like a few dog walkers on there. I didn't know that'd be allowed. People with the dogs going on, but yeah, not much happening in horse racing. I don't know how often horse racing goes on, but like I said before in one of my previous videos, not really my thing, to be fair. I don't really like it. So I'm going home. I've jumped on the bus and I'm going home. It's not that I want to go home, you know, I want to continue on my travels, but sometimes you get past that point where you've just hit a brick wall and I'm exhausted, and you know, it's just not in the right headspace, not the right time of year, you know. I'm, like I said, carrying all this stuff is doing me head in, so you know, I'll go home and live and learn from this adventure, prepare for my next trip, because the thing is, it's so hard because when I'm at home there's not going to be as much content. You know, I know I do little bits here and there, but this channel is mainly a travel channel, so if I'm not travelling then I'm not going to produce as much content. So I'll be home within the day or so, and yeah, I'll probably be back travelling probably after Christmas now. I can't see me going anywhere now before Christmas, so it is what it is. You know, I'll still, you know, I always bring videos out even there and whatnot. Strand, it's somewhere I've never been and I want to visit. Yeah, so yeah, so I'm going to end it there. Once again, thank you all for tuning in and your support and whatnot. Not as adventurous and as exciting as the last trip. I didn't expect it to be, you know, obviously what with the weather and everything. So yeah, wrong time of year. Obviously, as you all know me, I'm a summer baby, love my son. So yeah, back home, live and learn, new equipment, and back travelling again next year. So as always, like, share, subscribe, leave all your thoughts and comments down below, and I'll catch you on the next upload. Bye.